Okay, girls and boys and everything in between, I've got another bonus review. And it's a remake I've had my eye on for quite a while. Look, I know Halloween was like a month ago, but come on, people celebrate Christmas in October, so excuse invalid, thank you very much. This beloved entry into the Resident Evil series was originally released in 2005 exclusively for the GameCube, except not really because it was ported to PlayStation 2 months later with added content. Why do that at all? Why the fuck am I asking? Many ports later, and an HD version of the original game on Everything with a Pulse, it's now being remade by Capcom using the proprietary RE engine for current-gen consoles and PC. It's even available on iPhone. Who even played that version? Despite my lack of familiarity with the original game, I had some concerns about this remake. I do have the original on Steam, but I had to put it down because of many outdated elements and mechanics. Ironic, given Resident Evil 5 was the very first Resident Evil game I ever played, and that was just OG Resident Evil 4 with co-op and alleged racism. Newer games did spoil me, I will admit, but even I knew remaking a classic as beloved as this is gonna raise a few eyebrows. Fortunately, the Chainsaw demo squashed all my concerns about the remake. It felt great to play and looked stunning. The hair can be a bit strange in certain lighting conditions, making me think Leon and Co desperately need a shower. Christ, guys, use dry shampoo! I guess it's just one of the many quirks of the RE engine, so Even with all this hype and marketing, and being nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards one year, I wasn't in any real rush to play it. I mean, games are expensive, can you blame me? I was gifted the PC version of the remake a while back via Steam, and since my friends and I are currently playing the original Resident Evil 4 on PS2, at the time I started work on this, I finally decided to just give this remake a shot, even though I never finished the original game. It is worth mentioning that I only played the base game for this video and haven't had the time to play Separate Ways, which is paid DLC. It's $13, but at least it's something that adds to the game, unlike the insulting amount of cosmetics and upgrade tickets. The hell? I'll get around to it on my own time, hopefully. Insert possible update here. Wait a minute. The story is one-to-one the original, except not really, because of the added characterization of folks like Ashley, Luis, Sadler, and even Leon, just to name a few. Sadler specifically being a terrifying puppet master behind the scenes, and Ashley and Luis are just better characters, period. Some got the short end of the stick thanks to this change. I mean, Ada, I think, got the worst of it. Her performance just lacks any sort of personality. Her voice is fine, it's just stiff and bland. Is it so bad that I would send death threats to the actress?
What kind of fucking animal do you take me for?
No, I wouldn't threaten an actress. But I would kidnap the waifus of those who did!
Oh no!
Krause's performance also threw me for a loop, as I didn't expect him to sound like this. But I warmed up to it in due time as I realized, man, he's willing to cat slap the shit out of me in the name of total global saturation. Oh wait, wrong person. But seriously though, the knife fight was unintentionally funny and I loved every second of it. If you're familiar with the Resident Evil remake games, or the third-person action games from, I want to say, the past decade, then you'll feel right at home playing this game. Point, shoot, reload, solve a puzzle every now and again, story, point, shoot, reload, and then die because all that power can sometimes go to your head. No, just me? Be careful not to take too much damage, because just like the original games, your movement speed decreases as your health gets lower. The real scares in gameplay come from these situations where enemies just overwhelm and combo you, rather than just, cheap jump scares. So yeah, keep that head on a swivel and abuse grenades and flashbangs.
Think fast, Chuckle Nuts!
I received special training via a secret organization working under the direct control of the president. I was to assume the responsibility of protecting the new president's family.
It did take me a bit to get the hang of a few things. I mean, I was rusty since the Chainsaw demo after all. But once I did, I was unstoppable. I felt like John Wick on some sort of steroid. Hopefully not the one Chris had, because good God. That connection was made far stronger when I unintentionally used the pistol and shotgun for most of my first playthrough. And that was on the game's standard difficulty, by the way. If you can clear this on hardcore or professional without saving, then give yourself a medal. The game does give you incentive to play through the game multiple times though, whether that's for a better rank or to unlock stuff like cosmetics or even other weapons with infinite ammo. If there's one word that I can use to describe RE4 Remake, it's snappy. The attaché case returns functioning identically to how it does in the original game, but now there's an auto sort button allowing you to just sort your stuff quickly if you want to get a move on. The D-pad allows you to switch weapons in your case on the fly, and Ashley isn't as big of a pain in the ass this time around, since all she needs is a good old pick-me-up if she gets shot and you're golden. I heard horror stories about her escort missions back in the original game, and yeah, they weren't pleasant. You're also showered with cash, either by selling goods you find, killing enemies, or finding them in yellow striped boxes, barrels, or containers. You can even craft ammo and grenades in a pinch, as long as you have the crafting recipe and the space for it. The knife is also just as useful as it once was. In fact, it became my best friend. You can stab enemies just like the original game, you can straight up parry enemy attacks with it, I always got the timing wrong though, and you can even silent kill with it.
Silent kill. Silent kill, silent kill.
Bruh.
Keep in mind it does have a durability meter and will break once depleted, but since you can upgrade the weapons that you have in your inventory, yeah, max out that durability as soon as you can. You can even find other knives just out and about, so you can commit as many fatal stabbings as you wish. And just like the original game, almost like it's a remake, there's even a section where you get to play as Ashley. You just have to play keep away while trying to solve puzzles. I mean, I heard people weren't very fond of these sections, even in the original game, but these were okay. It didn't overstay its welcome, and it's over before you know it. I am also the king of getting away with dumb shit. I don't think I was supposed to do that. Well, then I guess you won't be needing this anymore. I think the best part about this game, for me, was the absence of QTEs and cutscenes. Oh my god, I literally despise those in the original game. And they were everywhere. Get it wrong once, you die, gotta try again. It was probably another reason why I put the game down. Look, I get it, this was all the rage, but this, along with the first Bayonetta, was not immersive, it was just obnoxious and intrusive. I mean, granted, there are some QTEs, but they're all in gameplay and they don't feel intrusive. That's just the way I like it. The boss fights were also very fun. A few were scaled back compared to the original game, but those moments were just that, moments. The only fight that I actually hated was Ramon Salazar. This fight takes forever, and if you aren't preemptively taking cover, you are going to die. Maybe I should have gotten a more powerful weapon earlier, or just, backtrack to the throne room, get a golden egg, and just throw it at him like, yeet! Glad I can offer you an egg in these trying times, you uncivilized mongrel. The Krauser fights became one of my favorites. These are just exhilarating. Even though I got my ass handed to me in the second encounter more times than I like to admit. Out of options and low on ammo, I managed to kill him with a well-tossed heavy grenade, for some reason. It's a shame he was never a fan of people. Get the fuck off my porch! As for the final boss, the footage should speak for itself.
Smile, you son of a...
Oh wait, I don't think that was enough. I could conclude the whole thing here, but I almost forgot to talk about the Mercenaries mode. Basically, you pick your favorite character and kill as many enemies as possible within the time limit on one of 4 stages. The more you kill, the more time you get, and the higher combo equals more points. It's a feedback loop that makes this mode stupidly fun and addicting. Leon is available from the start, and Ada, Krauser, Wesker, Hunk, and Luis have to be unlocked by getting an S rank. This requires more rounds of Mercenaries, but I really didn't have time for that. I needed to get this video done. This mode has actually been a staple since, I want to say the original Resident Evil 4. I mean, not every game had it, but hey, you're in for a good time at least. This is actually a very decent remake, and I think a lot of people should play it. There is still a reason to play the original aside from, historical reasons. And at least Capcom made sure the game was still playable on PC. Credit where credit's due, The original is $20, while the remake is still full price. But with the amount of content here, without DLC, yeah, it's totally worth it. The Gold Edition is a bit more pricey, but you mostly get some cosmetics that look decent on Ashley, for the few she has, but look ridiculous on Leon. The hero and villain outfits specifically look so out of goddamn place. And does anyone else see Adam Driver in that villain outfit? Or Severus Snape? Just me? If you have the opportunity, go play it. Even if you're not a fan of Resident Evil, you can still jump into this, no problem. Alrighty, well, now that that's done, I gotta go do a few things.
I made it into the episode! Pay me, bitches!
Hey, me too. And also, we're not gonna be on Twitter and Twitch. That'll be explained in due time. Okay, bye-bye!